Considering it is best of one, like, yeah, I back the ENCE side, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
And one thing I'll even add to that conversation, Jay, is that HEET are a strong team in best of ones, winning 12 and only losing 5 so far this year. They've got an excellent track record in opening games.
It's all about opening up their tournaments right here and now. The opening best of ones to commence for ENCE and HEET as the pistol round sees the Julies in for valde. USPs brought out across the rest of the CT board. Of course, they will be on the CT start of things. And HEET playing their way into the defaults initially. Contact established, careful placements, and Snappy me watching for his way in for the shots, unable to connect his kills.
And it seems as if HEET wanted to sell a little bit of a fake out towards that ramp control, but it's into the upper hit.
Julie spam, JACKZ tagged up, valde looking for his kill. It's Martin instead that lands it. Valde able to trade back on some Pius, and the kills start rolling in for the CTs. ENCE hold their nerve. Afro standing alone. Gets that one headshot at least against valde. What more can he find out this?
1v2, just got to keep drawing fights. He's got plenty of time left on the clock. Might fake that he's trying to go over to ramp, indicate the idea that there could be the heaven wrap. He's got so much time, he can slow this right down.
Hang around that hot position, slow, prodding in, Snappy, the USP spotted, but doing damage to Afro, nothing returned by the lone HEET player. 50 seconds to try to grab that bomb, get it down to the site, and I don't think even that's going to be plausible. They've both got the crossfire lock. They know they can only really make his way in from 2 different entries. Spots out, does damage, no kill found for him. Dia barely even taking that bullet to his face. That's a pistol gained by ENCE.
Now, got to start thinking here for the ENCE side, building a good start here on CT basis is going to be important from them. And we know that when we look at Nuke, not the best track record in the last 3 months, 1 win and 4 losses. Whereas when you look over for HEET, it's played 10 times, only 4 wins in that matter, but a lot more match experience on Nuke.
What about those numbers games? The caliber as well to consider. You mentioned that ENCE have had a pretty dire track record in the last like 5 maps they played or so. HEET taking the early back foot though on this matchup. ENCE pistol game of rifles out, harsh eco inbound for the second, so this should be a bit of a formality right here for the CTs.
Got to imagine so. Just prodding their way towards outside, trying to see if they can force some over peaks to come in from some Pies. Drop that SMG instead. It's actually quite a bit of farm cash.
1,200 bucks, 1,800 bucks. Nice and easy money farm here for the ENCE side. HEET, no resistance, no Kevlar to block the firepower of that SMG. Dia now takes mantle of the FAMAS to ensure that some Pyre stays alive and they can keep all 5 players in for a fantastic bonus basis. Afro does take him down though, so that's 1 lost rifle that some Pyres might want to swing back to recover. But HEET, that's 1 pick out of many they need to try and recover the round itself.
And just trying to see if they can keep walking towards this outside control. valde spotting that information for the back of T-Red. Snappy to peek in from Garage. Make it a 2-0 start. And one thing that we have seen from HEET is some decent RMR bases. We think back to what we saw from them in IEM Fall. Even at Antwerp, 1 series away from making it into the major. They took on Astralis in that 5th round of Swiss, and it just didn't quite come through. Very competitive map score lines across all 3 maps in the pool. They're looking to step things up and to be able to have more success this time around.
Two out of the start, bonus round in for ENCE, but some Pius rocking the AWP, so quite a heavy investment bonus round. SMG and FAMAS still in for Dia and valde, but a bit more success required for ENCE to truly call this a good third. HEET playing towards the outside on Body's part. The majority of players are indoors though, around lobby and creeping their way up towards ramp control.
And we know that some Pius has been deadly on the Nuke officials for ENCE so far, averaging a 1.27 rating. And Snappy with the jiggle has to try and catch the info that it is going to be a ramp rush.
Flashes in, incendiary sense. Some Pius will not take the face. Snappy's going to go down for that. Kill found and a player dropped in the lower bomb site. 2 players also in position to try and receive it. valde will make his move in with that FAMAS in the observation window. I think that Djoko's going to check for it. We check all the way around towards that corner though. With it just down the stairs. Molotov's in towards the stairs. valde lines up the kill against 2 individuals. JACKZ trades here, but that FAMAS has bought a chance.
They still got to lurk towards the top side of Body. JACKZ is trying to see if he can get some security of getting that bomb plant in. ENCE might even start to act towards the double doors to try and deny the bomb.
3-on-3 situation. JACKZ spots the burst through, does some, at least some suppression, not quite damage. Body engaging on Martin will take a lot more down to 6 HP. The SMG trying to work his way around as the Heat side fall out of position. Try and rotate towards the A play. If they go from heaven, though, some Pius could be able to catch them off. They go back in from lobby instead. Could get cut off by Dia. Some Pius will wait for his moment to move. Will he catch the bomb carrier? JACKZ should secure the plant uncontested as Dia is going to be covered. Some Pius. The AWP pick still lands. JACKZ trades it and Dia stands alone.
Oh, try and see if he can isolate the 1v2s, draw those fights out to the open. JACKZ isn't really peeking to the back of the default silos. And look at Exercise towards that left-hand side. They peek together. That's a good round. And do you know what I love there, Jay, is how they slow it down. You think, okay, it's going to be a lower take. Like, it has to be. You've got JACKZ there at lower. He's got the bomb. And it just gets very silent. You've got Body lurking on the top side. He walks out Squeak Door, and they just work with that information off one another. That was a very good mid-round call there from Body.
And it's that silence that backs up as well with the lack of information gained to go back to the A site, catching ENCE completely off guard, not knowing what to do. Damage now compounding, even though it was only really 1 kill they got in the conversion. Down to pistols for 3 players on a force invest for the ENCE side. So M4s on Valde and Snappy being the 2 players you watch out for here. Heat now with a chance to take full control on this T side.
You mentioned it was still a bonus round. You had a FAMAS, you even had the MP9, but it was the AWP upgrade. That's really siphoned the money down low and not coming through. Heat realized the potential on the wrap now to start getting rounds in a row, to start allowing themselves a lead. And JACKZ lurking towards outside, hasn't seen anything. They've just got to be careful that they're not running into any heavy stack right now.
Boosting 1 M4 up here towards the ramp stack, and I believe they might go into this, so Valde could be in with a decent chance. Some Pius would play bait and switch. Flash is turned away from 2 players crossing out. Kill found on 1, 2, not quite the third man. Heat back away in a 5-on-3 situation. The 5-7 of Martin gets away with a kill on Body as well. Dia, undetected, top of heart, gets JACKZ as Heat get caught looking every which way but the way of the CT side. Afro now to get a bomb plant, but defend off 4 CTs. They're already inbound here. Dia doing damage and the cavalry has arrived.
That's not going to happen. Not at all. What an excellent steal that is from ENCE. And look at the rifles they've been able to pick up. That M4 for Snappy, 3 AKs. And Heat know that was your chance. That was your opportunity right there to strike back. And it shows that one unchecked position has cost them big time. The double frag coming through from Valde, the information play, the setup of even what's going down towards A. You wouldn't expect Martin in a 5v3 to walk forward of that Squeak Door, even being smoked. And then Diha returning damage from the top of hut too.
Beauty of a round. The Heat bring the fire now. 2 rounds to make up. Of course, Djoko with that deagle. Instantly in with a great headshot. 1 or 2 in play as Heat try and pull off a similar story against ENCE. Not 1 casualty taken, but 2 more players tagged up by the nades.
You can't doubt me. Djoko has got one of the best digs in all of Tier 2, maybe in all of CS. His deagle rounds can be explosive, and it's something that he's known for on this Heat side. Opening man advantage, does it get turned into any more is the question.
Valde's holding a forward corner. The AK body will get caught. 1 down, 2 more to follow. Only actually 1 more kill for Valde. JACKZ recovers an AK. 3-on-3 situation. At least it has been evened up.
And they need Exercise to try and walk out ramp, just to try and take some map control away. Need to work off one another, knowing that JACKZ is low on 28 points of health. It's going to be difficult for the AK to find much at all.
Ideally pass that off to Djoko by Exercise if possible. Both players being quite far away from contact with JACKZ though. Marden shoulder bait, spotting out the man. Just info, no engagement, no kills.
If they're able to get JACKZ up to main and have Exercise to pull distraction from Heart, this wrap in heaven could be successful from Djoko.
Exercise down, Djoko should get caught off. He's being marked by some Pius. Not quite a headshot on the first face, but 10 seconds regardless. They're going to face in and go down and get the money bonus if nothing else, and Djoko will drop. JACKZ might look to save the AK. Martin might swing this, actually get him after time. backs away at the right moment just to escape past the corner and get an exit frag. A risky one, but one that does go the way of HEET.
Very risky indeed, but like you mentioned, it's further economical damage. It puts the funds down at minimal stance right now for ENCE. HEET down 1-4. Now, one of the concerns is what happens if it repeats of what happens in EPL, and not by the map score lines or what the result is, but the slow start. That was something that hit them so hard on Dust 2 and Vertigo only 20 days ago, was slow starts in the first half.
ENCE currently with the best of starts. Even winning eco and pistol rounds. Forced invest, sure, in those cases, but still pistols nonetheless. HEET. Gonna prod out towards the ramp position initially. JACKZ has taken damage elsewhere. I think that's the spray down from the squeaky door. Djoko ready for the swing. Great flick. They might have that second player inbound, but Sunpius has caught the opener.
Just that slight reposition to the back of Orange, the jump over, he spotted that bomb. That's so much info now.
Doesn't quite see what exercise is, though. Utility will go down. He will be blinded off to that gap. D is there for extra cover, but he aren't continuing alongside this this ramp take. Valde is on the site now, as they might pray towards A.
Could just be a walk setup, try and take a contact in from the squeak door. He got Djoko with the bomb. A lot of defenders towards upper. Martin waiting for the hut walk out.
Body down. Djoko trades it. Instant damage being returned by Martin. Not quite the kill. Snappy gets it instead. Exercise and JACKZ now last two players left with the bomb. Also dropped in the open. Martin should catch Exercise low HP. Easy pickings. It's 1v4 now for the lone T-side player, which Sunpire spots, takes his head clean off, and brings in a 4-round lead now for ENCE.
And maybe looking at the track record of ENCE in Best of Ones gives us a little bit more of an idea of what's happening right now. 13 wins and 3 losses over the course of 2022. And we know that in the recent form, the success has not quite been there. Again, 4 out of 15 maps played has been successful, winning a total of 1 out of 6 best of 3s and 2 out of 3 best of 1s. As of right now for ENCE, things are looking very promising in the first 6 rounds of Nuke.
Tactical called in by HEET to try and change that narrative. Like you mentioned, ENCE solid. What's the buy look like? Do they force it up here? Is it just a half invest? It looks like that's going to be the case here. The Eagles on 3, P250 on 1. Another one for Afro as well. 2 bits of Kevlar, so nothing major to come through for this one. ENCE on paper should be able to extend the lead. Can HEET pull off one of those sick deco rounds though?
They've got to hug close towards the diagonal smokes outside if they want to get down to that secret control. You've already got Diha down from the vents position. Sunpire's not seeing anyone cross out towards Garage. And it's whether they can work that opening entry, because that's what they really need if they want to charge down to lower.
Nothing seen past the cross. 4 players down successfully in secret, uncontested and unscathed. Until that nade goes in, it looked like it landed right at Afro's feet, but didn't do much. The follow-up HE from Valde might do some more. Indeed, Djoko actually goes falling for it. Incendiary sent, and Afro, 15 HP for him. Valde even going to press the issue and might just catch all 3.
Gotta imagine so. But at the same time, you don't want to be too aggressive. Hold the off angle. The Deegs just trying to see if they can force one fight out into the open. JACKZ is going to fall. The bomb gets dropped as well. And Afro's on low HP. Exercises the lurk towards the top of outside. So the bomb gets dropped. And the continuation towards lower is not quite the ability. Exercise might be able to get away with one, but not quite hitting that frag onto Sunpius. 6-1 for ENCE.
Sunpius enjoying himself there. A bit of a shame, honestly. That deagle looked like it was onto me. I don't know what happened, whether it was just a little bit off, or whether there was an accuracy thrown in there by the walk. Either way, easy round for ENCE. Easy for ENCE so far in this matchup. HEET back on the guns, though. Going to try and post up some resistance before they start letting this scoreline get out of control. M4 of Dia towards outside. Has spotted the first top of silo. All back his way all the way out towards Secret, looking for that headshot still. Eyes on the man, but body. 100 HP for him. Neither player gets away with the tag.
Haven't seen a massive amount of pace in from Heat, and even outside, it's generally just been the cross to get down to Secret. Haven't seen too many exploitations of Garage or trying to wrap players into that hell control to further the map pincer. ENCE looking very comfortable on this CT side. They've got money farmed up in the bank in case things do get a little bit out of order. Heat go back towards outside, but just desperate for any sort of opening success, whether it comes to an opening man advantage.
Smoke sent out towards the outside, a bit of variation on their common and favourite diagonals. One-way smoke in from D. You're going to see the incendiary come in and get extinguished immediately for it. Counter fire sent back by the CTs will stop them from making their way in towards Secret. Main cross locked. They will start to clear though, and Valde is ready to receive JACKZ. Body, first player in. Body gets the kill.
I like this from Heat, exploiting further outside movement, and you can even see for Snappy trying to get down towards lockers. There's actually a CT or in front. That's Body trying to get up on top.
Djoko provides cover as well. Snappy removed from the locker rooms. Again, full heaven and hell control. Martin in behind exercise though. A flank out will catch at least that one trade. And now got to focus on the heaven take that's coming in for Heat right now. Afro gets his kill. Martin with responsive on Body, trying to keep them at bay with the last 10 seconds of the round. Djoko to go for that plant, unsupported by JACKZ, who's watching out for some sort of rotation in from hell. Afro could get caught off. Martin wins that fight for a 3K. And a 2-on-2, this one is on.
It's a lack of information, too, from some Pius. They don't know that he's walking forward from this ramp control. Both players compete together now.
Half the time about to tick away here. The AWP is scoped in. Nades back. Martin making all the noise. Orc now fires. Martin caught off, but Djoko can't line the kill spray. Deagle out. Gets the pick back on Djoko. JACKZ with 2 to find. Drops onto the side. Low HP, but low time. Some Pius picked up. Martin's going to act too quick, and there's just not enough time on this one. The bomb will go up. He'll sit back in the corner, look for the exit, get it a quadra, but give Heat the second.
Nicely done on that post plant, and you could just feel as if the composure of not over-peaking there from Heat. You've got the tucked-in individual there from Djoko, from Tetris, just not over-peaking, wasting that time, and then JACKZ realizes, 1v2 up in heaven, I've got to drop down. Make sure I'm time-stalling even further, and while everyone falls there from Heat, it's a successful round. Martin tries to make as much happen from that walk forward towards a lobby control, but it's JACKZ the one to end it.
4 rounds to the good still for ENCE. Heat, however, starting to claw their way back into it. Incendiary sent against the squeaky door. Martin's ready with that smoke as soon as the door gets opened up. Counteraction involved, but the flash is forward as JACKZ is forced to fight. Gets that one kill. Valde caught off guard, but Dia lines up 2. Drops that bomb. Makes it a 3-on-2 for the ENCE side, but Bonnie does catch some Pius on the return, so even standings, and D is forced to get onto the site itself. Snappy tagged up. And that bomb in the open means that Heat have got to press forward.
Got to keep trying to engage onto these fights. Can't really think about the vent drop at all. They've got plenty of time. The molly doesn't actually quite burn over the top. Instead, it goes down to the top of heart.
Afro's boosted to try to look over. Making noise. They might be aware of that. Boost might be coming forward. Snappy in. Afro spotted, but D is seen first. The backstab almost gets them both. But Afro, quick on his reactions, gets the 2K and gets the 3rd in for Heat.
This has been a tough one. Not easy at all. You think about the last couple of rounds in from Heat, down to clutch situations. First it was JACKZ, then it was Afro. I like the movability that Heat find themselves in there. The molly does not go out to the squeak door where they are. They set up the boost. They focus the attention on the off angle to the left-hand side of the silos. And then Afro on the drop down ends up finding that last charge. And Heat find 3. And now you start feeling they're on the brink of that economical reset. Money is not strong right now for both of these teams.
Tactical taken. ENCE with their first in this matchup, and I guess the right time to call it in. Heat have now started to turn up the heat. Bringing the fight back to the ENCE side. Gun buys for both teams will see limitations here and there by choice or by design. Mac 10 for Djoko, 2 Galils for the Heat side. Scout SMG in for ENCE meanwhile. Djoko might just charge forward to this Mac 10 and try to lead a rush tactic or some sort of forward play. Again, the squeaky door is a big concern. The smokes come back against them. JACKZ with the opener, catching Martin in at the rafters. Blind sprays behind the smokes will be unable to stop the Heat side. Some Pius can't do anything from heaven either. 5-on-3, this round might already be over.
That's better. Much better from HEET. This has got to be one of the most convincing rounds we've seen from them in the entirety of the best of one. The entry coming through from JACKZ, brought forward from Afro out towards the open vent corner up to heaven. And for ENCE, knowing that Money's already not in an ideal position, HEET are going to go hunting, and that's a great tap on a Snappy too.
No resistance against Djoko at all. Mac 10 burst kill found. M4 now in his hands. All the rifles out for HEET. And yes, they are M4s, but they're better than the Galils and the Mac 10 that they just had. The next contact might leave Valde to stay in this one. Djoko caught off guard for one pick back. That's a response. Exercise hunting him down though, and Valde provides that extra support. The gun barrel's seen, and Afro's also seen him, but all the kills start going the way of ENCE. So, bit of an expensive round there for the HEET side.
Yeah, definitely feels that way. At the time, they probably would have thought it's the right idea to go hunting. The problem is, now the opportunity is still there for the reset. The money is going to be low across the board on the T side, and ENCE realized themselves, we've got some cash in the bank, let's force it up, let's get the M4s across the board. It will be Snappy down onto an MP9. I think we would have had a very different style of buy if both of those last two CTs would have dropped.
It'll be unbelievably broken here for ENCE. Maybe even just a harsher eco or a half bite. M4s are in. HEET have got resistance. Djoko will be tagged up initially here to 68 HP. Nade sent up by Snappy. So generally the HP bars line up with where Marden's at. And HEET hold the default.
Snappy just jiggling down towards that ramp control. HEET and slowing the clock once again, trying to get themselves set up for the outside smokes. It's whether they want to commit with it. They've left a player towards the top of the silo of body. Everybody else is focusing their attention back into lobby control.
Red box cross smokes in. ENCE. Nades against their position. HEET. Angles hell, but Marden very far pushed up. Djoko bit cautious about facing back in here. Exercise has some utility to throw down. A certain back forward player though, the shoulder bait gets the info and Exercise gets the kill.
What a wonderful jiggle to force it out to the open, and Exercise has turned it into two. Dia from the top of the Mustang does do a lot of damage and force it back to a 2v2 with the trades.
A brilliant sequence from Dia, needing those trades to get a chance here for ENCE. Some Pies with his one kill, and now Snappy's SMG takes the brunt of the offensive. In from the rafters, spray back, does so much to Exercise, but a bit overzealous. Now Some Pies got to do it all on his lonesome, and at 1 HP, there's the kill. Afro with the swing. A responsive found to bring us up to 5 now. A single round separating HEET from ENCE.
Now, it has to be said, it's been a clutchy sort of map in from HEET for the majority of their rounds. But do you know what has to be said about that? They're winning the clutches. Think about the 1vx situations that they've been in. Most of the time, it's been going the way of the Frenchman. And that's putting on more rounds on the T side. It's giving yourself more of an in on this best of one to have yourself the leverage going into the second half. And for ENCE, you thought with that hold from Dia to the top of Mustang that might have just been enough, not to be.
Shots in from Snappy. Pistol, part of the upgrades in what is essentially a deco round here for ENCE. HEET should equalize the situation, and what was a stellar CT side is turned to jello. Swinging the body, Mac 10 sees the headshot of one. Marden, however, catches him off guard. Again, he falling victim to the bait and switch.
Now it's going to be the explosion out from that hot control, and the pistols are doing work.
No.
It's down to just 2 T-side players left. JACKZ with the cleanup only gets away with 1, and Djoko's going to fall as well. How many times have we seen from HEET to be that one round? That one round to start pushing it even further. The lighter buy has hurt them so hard again.
Oh dear. That's not encouraging at all, is it? That's a pretty significant round for HEET to lose right there.
Forces
Because
double
look what it
status.
does for the buy, yeah. Mac 10s, P250s, Deagles, Tech 9s, force the issue for round 13, Eco for round 14. The next buy will come in at the end of the half. ENCE. Didn't even put that much risk into that round. It was a half investment. Snappy First contact against the quick rush in towards the ramp control. Gets that kill alongside Dia's crossfire. They do lose Stappy in that exchange, but it's a 3-for-1.
I think this now starts putting pressure on how important winning those anti-eco rounds are, and how, if they don't come into the fold, how much more of a cripple situation you can find yourselves in. Exercise and Afro not working with much at all. They've got some slight information of some Pius and Garage, but 2v4, it's going to be difficult to draw these fights out into the open.
Afro walks up and over. Down into secret he'll go. Some Pius there to lock out Exercise. Gets that kill, secures the round itself. Bomb dropped. There it is. Afro. Deagle versus 4 here. No real chance he'll make this happen. And of course, without the bomb in his control, it wipes out any opportunities that he'll have to get any sort of bonus cash, let alone the round itself. This will be 8 on the board for ENCE. And what was looking like it might have been an even standing for the Heat side, an opportunity now to take the lead at the turn of the T side, now turns into a 10-5 potential. ENCE. They're going to lose control, but they have regained it in an instant. Maybe Afro gets this one kill, pops up against Martin, but Martin now will counteract it.
They're just running out of time, going to get hunted down from all sides. 8 on the board for ENCE. And I want to entertain the conversation of what we saw against ENCE and Complexity in the last round of EPL Season 16. They obviously knew for ENCE it was an important game to win, to get it over the line, to give themselves that chance of getting into the playoff position. Nuke was picked by the ENCE side. We only saw 3 rounds on the T side from them in the first half. They ended up trying to put a massive comeback forward and did not end up winning the map, even though it went down 14-16. So are we worried about the T side here today, Jay?
Well, when it moves over to the second half, I guess we'll find out. Not entirely like you can just sort of take this one on the chin and say whether it's going to be an easy breeze from here. Especially with those pistols still striking. Dia mows down the eco though. Afro alone. Quadra for the M4. Again, Snappy playing sacrifice to set up his teammate to have all the success. In general, he's actually had a pretty poor game overall with only 5 picks on his own board. Now we move to the final round of the half. The gun buy left in play for Heat. ENCE still hold control and still look for that double-digit scoreline.
And I think if we do entertain the T-side conversation, the one thing that at least ENCE could give themselves as a positive is run riot towards the end of the first half. Give themselves as much of a lead as possible. And looking at the way that it's already 9-5, getting yourself double digits, that could be a perfect position for them to be in.
Nia's taking that aggressive force forward again at the red box position. The smoke's coming down in all sorts of areas here for Heat. Engagement towards body, sees him, fires back, and now is known to the T side. Looking to swing quite aggressive, but baiting in Djoko. Djoko will be able to land the frag instead.
Nicely done there from Heat, and you just felt there it was very dry for ENCE, not a lot of counter utility, and now the pace change, and this is getting very quick.
Wow. JACKZ and Djoko combining, even valde taking damage. Molotovs and sprays through towards him. In the corner of Mini. Afro bearing down upon the man with the fire bullet straight through the smokes, but not connecting to his general position. It's him and Snappy that stand alone. Snappy in particular back up towards Rambat to get counterflanked by Heat here in Hell. Or is he? Will it be the A play? Looks to be the low HP player removed. Snappy's in a 1-on-5, which he just won't be able to win. Heat will close out the half, being down by 3 rounds, but could have been much worse.
Djoko getting that last pick forward. And for Heat, they've got to be quite impressed with at least making it a positive note. That was a beautiful round to end it off.
We move to the second half where ENCE will be on the T side. You mentioned there might be some concerns, Dweg. How much of a concern will it be? We'll find out after the break.
We both know we're not the same without rock bottom. Let it go, but we come back to craving problems. Am I your favorite kind of shame? Do I make you wanna don't go chasing your demons and ghosts, 'cause you might find what you're looking for. You might find what you're looking for. Don't go chasing your demons and ghosts, 'cause you might find what you're looking for. You might find what you're looking for.
Well, ENCE still look good, still hold the lead, still hold dominion over HEET, but for how much longer is the big question. It was still a 9-6 half, not quite a 10-5 that we had hoped for, and again, you mentioned concerns about the T-sides from the ENCE cap. How much is a reasonable expectation, or will HEET just take full control from here?
I think HEET have given themselves a good position. You have to consider the fact that they were 1-6 down in that first half, had a slow start, ended up bringing it back more competitively. If they can get started on the pistol, this should be enough for them to push it over.
A vitally important pistol for ENCE the same. Julie's USPs, quick lobby crunch inbound as well from the HEET side. ENCE have evaded the majority of it. Some Pious will engage. Martin having to trade back as Body gets that one kill back in. Exercise engages upon Martin himself. So a 3-on-3 situation, but still the majority of the players of ENCE have not been found.
Exercise is thinking about double dipping. There could be another frag onto Snappy. Made a little bit of a noise going up the ladder. The bomb is here towards the left-hand side of D-Hud. That's good information from Exercise.
Spotted on that quick face, but not sticking around for the kill. We'll go for the triple dip instead. Holding the ramp control, holding the hut control rather. Looking in towards ramp as Afro rotates in for the backstab towards outside. It might come in a little bit too late because ENCE are ready to act. Will this be a quick vent diver and upper take? Incendiary sent Exercise trying to play against them, but playing away from them down the vents. They look to try and go, but they're getting caught up amongst each other. Exercise knows this must be a B play, and Snappy will stick around to cut the rotations off or just dive down late.
D-Hud got to try and get that bomb down straight away, and Exercise no. That's the tell. Let's start rotating bodies over.
One will at least be guaranteed. The retake, however, is not. Snappy starts things off okay. JACKZ tagged, but not dead. Afro closes in the pinsters at last here from Secret. Dia, Gooshed, 17 HP. Valde's got a lot of work to do because now he's the last man standing. 1-on-3. Decon door open. Does find Afro at least. Close the door once again to provide a bit of cover. JACKZ on the defuse here. No kit in. Opening it up. Trying to find the angle. Exercise trying to block him off. Even so, tags up. Kill found. Oh my god, he's got the right man! And he's got all three as well. What's a clutch for Valde?
Oh my goodness, and it's a clutch that goes the other way after we've given so much praise over from HEET in the 1vx's. It's ENCE that does one up to them. What a sequence out there from the single door after HEET do so much. The distraction, the way that the jiggle and the bait comes through from the ladder to allow Afro on the backstab to get it into a 3v1, but not to be, not to close that round down. That is a sight of beauty from Valde.
Exercise did everything he could to stop him, to close that door and all. But just one slight gap is all he needed. A copping out on that gap on occasion. He got the kill against the right man. And from there, the whole round fell to his feet. What a pistol that is for ENCE. And for HEET, well, it will be a forced buy back for them at least.
Oh, already, Djoko just gets owned. Body out there from the single door, does find a quick response, but him being mollied has to try and smoke down and relocate, and now ramp's even being exploited. There's only one down here at lower.
At least they found the trades here in the 4-on-4 and damage being done to Valde. 17 HP, Body. Respectable position here. Footsteps being heard and they're all inbound from the right entrance. Or no one's looking the right way. Body only gets the low HP player though. Martin turns it back to a 3-on-3.
The Heat have got to see where this lands. 3v3, I think you've got to go for it, even though you don't have players down to lower.
Plant secured. Heat taking their time with the retake, though. I don't think that they're fully in it. Their hearts not set on going down to the B side. They'll look for exits at best. And Snappy will drop for it, so expensive round again for ENCE. But a round for ENCE nonetheless.
They're going to try and see if they can go for it now. Down by 1. They've got to get in quickly.
In. No kits. Kill on some Pius. Doubles up alongside Marden. They hold their line, so decent effort from Heat, but ultimately not going to be the round still.
Yeah, just felt as if there was a bit of hesitation in that round. You're trapped in two minds. You think about, okay, we'll look for exits, and if something presents itself, we'll go. But I think you got into a position there where it was already done. Yes, this kill presents a man advantage situation, but you're not in retaking positions. You don't have a kit to work with. And players fooled very quickly when they tried that late pincer. ENCE only a few rounds away now from closing it down. Up against the anti-eco, this is going to be a 12-6.
We've seen the CT sides pull off some silly little eco rounds, especially from the ENCE camp, but Heat's yet to have a chance to do some. But here and now, they have the upgrades on JACKZ and Exercise. JACKZ in particular about to receive the brunt of the T-forces, do some tag damage on Snappy, does get the kill against the man in the end. Valde, however, quick responsive USP of body gets away with a lot of damage, which Exercise can capitalize upon, pulling one more frag and a second bit. Marden getting Afro. Exercise stands alone, but can't quite finish off the job. So all in all, still 3 casualties. It's expensive coming in for ENCE across both of these rounds.
Now, Heat know they were much stronger in the rifle rounds in that first half. The concern here is, of course, the slow starts. We saw it in Pro League. They were down, I think, 2-13 on one of the maps and then 4-11 on the second map in the best of 3 context. They were 1-6 at a scoreline from the early 7 rounds of this map, and now coming into the second half, it could be something very similar. Heat cannot afford to be down.
Ready for some Pius. Posted towards outside, hoping for aggression from the Heat camp. Not going to be seen, though. The CTs hold their nerve and hold their line, waiting for ENCE to make the move that cost them the round.
Afro peering up aggressively to try and look over those smokes towards outside, catch some vision to the back of T-Red. Might be able to take away one duel and fall off.
There's those diagonal smokes that we saw from the plan of attack. Some Pius picking up Afro as he tried to get above those smokes. Good punish from the ENCE side. Great reactions from the AWP. Not sure whether he was looking that way in the first place, but he's caught it regardless. 5-on-4, and ENCE making no qualms about this secret play. Bodies heard all those footsteps.
Try and bait that util, even do some damage on the spam. They'll know that he's up close. It's whether there's more rotations to be off the back of it. Djoko has not rotated down from ramp towards lower, instead thinking that this could be a fake play because ENCE are coming back up for the topper secret to outside now.
Again, making a lot of noise on these footsteps, which could be heard. I don't think Body's in quite a position to catch all of them. You can see how players are still staying upstairs. Body repositioning to the other side of the B side. Exercise to be watching for the heaven ramp, but caught off. There's Marden with the kill. Try to double up on the JACKZ. 2 points of HP. And his teammate joins him in from Squeaky. The wall bang comes in from Valde as he reads JACKZ like a book. It's a 5-on-2 for ENCE.
And they just knew that they were going to overpower him. They'd already spotted the information from Marden's POV that he was back there from the default silo, so just spam those bullets forward. Marden's going to round the corner from the right-hand side. He's going to be a goner. Now, Djoko and Body have to hold, and how familiar signs we are now starting to see from the last game. You think back to K23 up against Falcons, the Frenchman, and come that second half, it just didn't even look competitive. Heat relied so heavily on some of those clutches in the first half. And if you think about that pistol, the what if again, the fact that Heat lost that 3v1 advantage, they've lost a couple of anti-ecos, we could have been looking at such a different scoreline had those rounds be different and had they been successful.
You worried about ENCE's potential T-side base here, so I have a feeling that we might not need to see much of it.
Yeah, can't imagine so.
13-6. 7 rounds to the good, which is the biggest lead that ENCE have had above Heat so far in this game. Tactical use for the second time on the French side. ENCE 3 to close. A lot of work to be done on the CT basis.
And this is where I'd like to see a good performance coming through from Body. Even though he is the IGL of the team, one thing that we do know from him is in important games and on maps like Nuke, he can step up massively. Only down there at 8 frags, single digits for Djoko and Exercise too. Afro hasn't had the chance of AWPing on this CT side yet just because of where the economy is, so he might have to stick on to his hands of an M4 for quite a few rounds until the money's good.
Both teams with their gun buys, rifle round for round 20. HEET and ENCE. Go blow for blow in what could be a very important round, one that could decide the map itself for ENCE. HEET vitally important they take some success back. Flashes in, Djoko ready to receive them inbound from ramp. Does find the lineup onto some pies and see at least 2 more players dive back out of ramp control though, get into the B site.
And that's just precision coming through from Djoko. Allows himself to catch information, do damage to a frag, and fall back to safety. Not allowed the overwhelming pace from ENCE to dive down towards that lower bomb site from ramp, but to contain it. And even Afro's caught Dia trying to walk through from the front of main.
5-on-3 now being game. Molotov sent back with the flashes. Tease in quick. Exercise watching in the back of the site. His M4 holding alongside Afro. Beyond the smoke though in at mini. Is he going to peek right towards this? Might have to provide some support. Exercise gets a kill but does get killed off alongside Afro. Snappy however, last man standing as they found those trades as appropriate. And he gets dropped by JACKZ himself. The defensive holds and HEET find 7.
Nicely done there from HEET. You've got Djoko being able to find success and ramp, and of course the rotation towards that heaven control. Just play off one another, and that ends the streak. That puts HEET in a position where they can start driving forward, but it's tough. You have a look at that scoreline, and it's quite a one-sided lead. ENCE have only got 3 more rounds to go to pull it off. A tactical timeout, try and see if they can get some understanding from their coach of Saw what they want to achieve, because they know we've got them on the ropes. We win this round, we probably win the best of 1 because there's an instant reset potential.
Right time to call attack. ENCE still hold quite the lead above HEET and still have a gun by to try and shut this comeback down before it truly gets started. It's just that one round for now. See whether it become anything more here. ENCE, of course, 2 weakened weapons on the Galils of Valde and Stappy. JACKZ straight on top of the hut to be able to receive the T execution. But for now, it's those passive defaults again.
And Valde putting in a good performance, 22 frags and 12 deaths. An individual that played 5 RMRs with OG, but yet couldn't qualify to either 2 of the actual majors itself. Hoping for a better run, a better road this time around with ENCE.
Decent effort to try and force CTs away from their common positions. Smokes towards outside will not be followed up by the ENCE camp. They're all just a ruse to indicate some sort of outside presence, draw attention towards that angle as they go for the inner take.
It's all about the util usage and what counter utility is available here for HEET. Exercise has got to put that incendiary down for the heart.
That's what he does. Another Molotov in from the T side, though. Dia will be suppressed, tagged up in a small amount. More bang damage attempted. Both flames extinguish themselves, burn out. They hold their own further. Flashes. Afro's caught that first pick, though. Some bias down towards outside.
Caught on the lurk. That's a lot of information. And now for ENCE, they've either got a double pump or fake the upper take into ramp.
Works in Molly's hell. JACKZ dives out of the way and now gets ready to receive the ENCE side. Down by a player. Need that trade. In with a vent dive on 2 players. Third man also makes his way in with the bomb on his back. Snappy, unknown as of right now. JACKZ still thinks he might be dead. Djoko, meanwhile, on the defensive. Holds up against Valde. Dives onto the site as Snappy engages but gets picked up. Now Dia is all alone. 1 on 5. Gets Exercise with a bomb being dropped on the site. 10 seconds to recover it. No chance.
And you could just see positivity everywhere on the map right there for the Heat side. You've got the opening contact that comes outside. Afro gets very aggressive, goes on the front foot, takes that AWP pick, deals with some Pius, and then look at what Exercise is able to do. Stall for time. You've got JACKZ looking in towards that squeak door, finally finishing off that lurk attempt to come through from the IGL of Snappy, and then Djoko, who's down there at that lower bomb site. Just so much success playing up onto the rafters, looking down at the single door.
Hero AK for Marden now into this next round. ENCE limited on the economy state. Heat have found their opening. The door has opened. Truly for the comeback. Case of walking through and continuing along this line. ENCE, of course, pressing forward some. Pius drops in with a Tech 9, gets the headshot on Djoko. So quick rush down to the B bomb site is overwhelming the one defender that was there. JACKZ now suddenly left in a very awkward dire position. Needs back up to get here desperately and will try the wall bangs with almost successfully killed.
I'm nervous. I'm very nervous here for Heat. We've seen them struggle against these sort of buys, and now you've got the crossfire set out to the double door save. Get out of there. There's just no chance.
Yeah, that hero AK comes up good in the end. 5 on 3. Damage on a couple individuals. At least JACKZ gets Dia on the wraparound. That tries to send Heat back in, trying their hand at this retake. Because ENCE will get to 14 if they concede this one, but they're running out of time. Every second that ticks by takes away potential. Snappy, tagged low, still gets 2 Deagle shots, and that should be enough to send JACKZ out of there. 14-8 now for ENCE.
Oh, that's another steal round. Another one to add to the tally. And you do feel for Heat, because if we do compare rifle rounds versus rifle rounds, I think they've got the edge. I think they've been able to find more successful rounds in that sort of a head-to-head. Do you know where they've lacked? The anti-ecos. That's what's hit them the absolute hardest. The slow starts on both of these halves, the economical turmoil. And for Heat, this has got to be an issue that is addressed after this best of one, win or loss, because these anti-ecos are going to affect them massively over the course of this RMR.
But a tactical take in here. Trying their best to force out this first opening match, still looking for their way to recover something. Don't blame me for looking forward to the future of the tournament for Heat, because this one looks like it's almost done. With the Frenchmen clinging on to a chance, any sort of opportunity that they can find to get back into this. The door is still open, so to speak. And the guns are out to try and put themselves in the door frame to walk through it. Get back on this comeback. Quick plays in from ENCE, just utility, no rush.
JACKZ trying to keep his head down. Now it's going to be the upper execution out from the squeak door. The bomb gets dropped, but the trades are good from the T's.
Now 2 for 1 on Marden. Sunpie taking back Exercise, and JACKZ lost Valde in the mix, and Afro smokes against him. The bomb open on the plant. Blind fire came in relatively close there from Afro, but so far finding nothing. Heat are locked out of the site, and I think they're going in for the safe call.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a questionable one. I mean, you can't have hesitation. You've either got to go for it or you don't, and they back off pretty quickly, but you got to look at the circumstances. You're down 8-14. You start getting into that narrow margin of, if we save, is it done anyway? They'll try and hold on to an AWP, an M4, and buy around it, but for ENCE, it just felt as if that upper take was everything. That double entry. Exercise only getting away with 1, JACKZ with nothing. And could this be yet another best of one in which the opposition loser is not taking double digits?
Could well be with the way that this had the whole day is going, basically. It would be the 4th map in a row that ENCE have had above Heat in their total history. What can the Frenchmen do to change this up? What can they do to make an impact? They've thrown every idea, every tactic at the wall, but ENCE have dealt with it in some capacity sooner or later. No chance of a map win in regulation. It's going to be on to overtime. 7 in a row for Heat to get there, and already Exercise has tagged to 24 HP.
Look at that utility damage coming through from ENCE and how much of a difference that can make later into the round. Afro's taken into his own charge, though. He's getting aggressive with Djoko to try and take this ramp control.
Can't quite spot Valde. He might do so now, though. That's at least a kill. Snappy round the corner. AWP missing his shot. Djoko caught switching out weapons, and Snappy can capitalize upon at least one kill. Damage done to the second man. Exercise providing some wallbang damage, as Afro just can't seem to hit his shots.
And that's so unfortunate, because that setup was everything from HEET. They already had the opening man advantage, and that was the bait to get the AWP into the 5v3, and instead it is gone far left. HEET now find themselves in a very difficult position to recover this round.
JACKZ just watching with the M4D, a backed up incendiary scent. Opening up the fence to try and go for a dive perhaps, or just fall down to the killer. JACKZ. 4v3, some Pius heard burning. Engagement comes up close. The AWP missing both its kills. JACKZ getting out of there for safety. A chance to dive down into vents is where they'll go with the bomb on the back of the AWP. Should be planted here.
No one's down here at this lower bomb site, so you wonder with the rotates, who's going to come through from the vents, or is it just going to be the ramp take and from Secret from HEET?
You have got Afro looking to lean down there, but will join his teammates in at Secret. HEET taking their sweet time with this. Can't afford to let the timer bite them in the butt again. It's happened so many times. Need to get a move on.
It's got to be the distraction. Get Afro down into the vents as soon as your Secret players come in.
Garden engages body, turns around to try and continue the spray, but Afro gets it back. 3 on 2. HEET still hold the advantage, but the timer has gone past the halfway marker. Snappy wrapping in on JACKZ. Equalizes with some Pius. His AWP peaks up. Exercise known. Gets his shot. 1-on-1, but no time even with the kit at this stage. Face out from Snappy, forcing him off the bomb and forcing HEET out of the game. 16-8 for ENCE as they take their opening game.
The exact same scoreline that we saw in a previous RMR back in Antwerp. That's a good performance coming through from HEET, consistent, in from both the first and second halves, and it just felt like the Frenchmen couldn't come to the tally today, Jay.
That's 4 in a row for ENCE above the HEET side, continuing their win streak from Pro League, the only team they could beat in that particular group, and now will be the opening team in their RMR. They are now